the traditional media metrics are a joke. Arbitron, which does radio, at the bottom in bold letters, the data that Arbitron puts out is the opinion of Arbitron. Nielsen's CEO came out recently as 2010 and said, we believe our numbers are at least 8% off. Are you going to refund us 8% of all the fucking trillions of dollars we spent? No. You know, so, I mean, really? I know how many Vogue copies you printed. I know what your circulation is. I don't know how many people saw my ad on page 133, and neither do you. Right? So, you know, it's all that stuff. And the people, the old school peeps, the reason they don't want this data is so pure. The data is so right. You know, I'm in very strong belief that Nielsen's went public because they know the ticking time bomb's coming. They went real fast to go public all of a sudden, and the IPO is, you know, so I think a lot of things are happening. For example, General Foods did a Groupon the other day. People saw it, they might have read about it, but that was a very important moment for General Foods that does all their business with retailers to be willing to go to a platform that is direct to consumer and skip that thing. That was a sign. It wasn't the end all be all, it was coupon based, but I'm telling you, we're seeing if you look for them, the flirting of disruption is happening. Communication is being disrupted by all these things. And that's how we roll, we communicate. Yes sir, right here, in the pink. Or pink? Pink's amazing, man.
My question is
what's your name?
Regis.
Regis?
Yep.
Jesus,
Yeah,
JR's here, Regis is here. We fucking brought it to Dallas, baby! Go ahead, Reg.
My question is in your opinion, how important do you see social platforms that are focused on vertical niche markets?
Like?
You know, a social platform that's very specific, and I'm just making this up, like for doctors.
Got it.
For example. Something that's very niche, that's specific to a certain...
So one of the last couple of companies I actually invested in was Path. And the reason I invested in it was two reasons. You always invest in the people, and it was Dave Morin, former top Facebook guy that I was very friendly with. But the reason I invested is they capped your friends at 50. As everything goes open, just like I said, as everything goes Jetsons, I go Flintstones. As everything goes more and more open, I'm investing in restrictions. My entire thing was based on restrictions and mobile. That's all I invested in the last 5 to 10 investments I made. I love restrictions, I love niche. There's an obnoxious amount of, the amount of sawdust that is being left behind by Facebook and Twitter is staggering. Now the problem is, you're watching movies that say, you know what's better than $1 million? $1 billion. Fuck you, JT. $25 million a year business is really nice, you know? And so we're being sold, that, you know, you have to build the next $1 trillion company or you suck shit. And so people are not paying attention. If that's where your energy is, that's a remarkable place to be. Somebody tomorrow will build a niche, socially driven, around people business, around fishing, and build a $75 million a year business. It will happen. And it is happening. Do you know, guys, if that wasn't the case, you know how many forums are out there? We're all talking about social media and the next thing. You know what active forums are? The place where I talk about the New York Jets is jetsinsider.com. Fucking old school PHP bullshit, tech blows forum. So there's a lot out there. You know, there's a lot still to come and a lot of innovation. This is early. It's early. I mean it. I'm so, guy back there, I'm so ridiculously happy, and I've been watching it now that I've been on the circuit a little bit longer and watching people, the amount of people that are in this room are going to win, and I don't mean like Charlie Sheen win, I mean like good win, you know, are gonna win, is gonna be substantial because you're very aware and you're listening to things and you come to things like this and you leave and you go Quora and you look it up and shit, how did I know about this? And you learn, it matters, it matters. What's up, my man?
How you doing? My name's Damani Daniel with Eventbrite, so thank you all for coming.
All right. Did you say Daniel?
With Damani Daniel.
Damani.
First name is Damani.
Got it.
So,
right, man.
Part of my job is I'm the face of Eventbrite here in DFW.
Got it.
And one of the things that my bosses in San Francisco are asking me, let me not say asking me, one of the things we're trying to figure out is how do you metric the social space? Because I know I'm successful if I connect with 5 people here tonight, if I have a conversation with 5 people. But it's difficult to track the monetary effectiveness of those 5 connections all the time. If you could have, if you could metric, and that's a
Yeah, I
term
understand.
that's thrown out all the time, but if you could metric, if you could ask for one metric as it relates to the thank you economy, as it relates to the social space and interaction, what would that look like? Or let me rephrase that. What are the questions that people in my community manager, event evangelist position should be asking to get those results?
Great question. Thank you so much, and thanks for being here. I would tell you this. Everybody has a different finish line. The first question I ask my clients is, what do you want to accomplish, right? Sometimes the clients, so I would ask you, what do we want to accomplish? What does victory look like? So what is the metric? The Jets and the Nets are clients of mine, right? You know what their victory is? Did we sell any fucking tickets, right? Pepsi, on the other hand, was beyond bonkers excited with us because we made a biz dev deal with Instagram months before South by, and then had an Instagram can at South by, and the amount of earned media they got as a digital leader, because that's what their CEO wants, was substantial. To other people that are just conversion based, that didn't mean crap. Who cares that we got some press, right? I'll tell you what we're doing at Wine Library, because I'm trying to really understand it. We're connecting people's Twitter accounts to their CRM on the back end, our custom CRM. We know who they are. We are tracking what they say, and we're doing thank you economy things. We sent somebody a Chicago Bears signed football jersey because he said that he was a huge Jay Cutler fan, and we liked the kind of business he was giving us. He sent us an email saying, nobody's ever done something like this for me. Thank you so much. I'm not shopping with the company that I've actually been spending the majority of my money with. So we didn't even know that blind spot. How do you know what percentage of the wallet spend you have of your active customer, right? So what are you going to just take care of your whales? Because this is what we do. We just take care of the big dogs, and then we take care of the squeaky wheel assholes, right? But we don't take care of the middle, which, oh, by the way, is pretty much all of us. And so what we're doing is we're tacking on Twitter and Facebook accounts to the CRM, watching the things they're saying, and figuring out how we can surprise and delight them, and look at the kind of things they're doing, and pay attention to what I was talking about, which is we are now employing several employees that are starting literally next week that are going to go back to doing what I did in '06, communicate with people about Chardonnay, Merlot, Pinot Grigio, be strictly a service, right? And then we're going to look at who they are, understand how many of them actually bought something. We are now calling every single person that places an order at Wine Library, thanking them, and then looking at that data. But that works for me. I'm a small business, right? I've had Campbell's and Pepsi and Green Mountain Coffee say, yeah, but how do we scale that, what you're talking about? I go, easy. Stop spending money on dumb shit like Super Bowl commercials and hire 80 full-time employees that give a fuck. So, to answer your question, you've got to find to them, what does victory mean? Does that mean if you get 100 new users because of this action, that's a good thing? Because guess what? You can figure that shit out. You can tag the people that you talk to, understand what they do. There's such complicated metrics now coming on of like those 5 people that you met tonight, how they influenced all their network, and all of a sudden you can see all the math and be like, you got 37 new users from Eventbrite that signed up for the first time that are actually followers of the 5 people that you started the chain with. So there's going to be ways. Here's what I think is funny, and I think you know this, and I think we inherently know this. The metrics are coming. What do you think? Everybody's going to sit and just wait? Why do you think Radiant 6 sold for $400 million, right, to Salesforce? People are building CRM, Sprinkler, Buddy Media. I mean, the metrics, they're there. They're there. Hey, man.
How's it going, Gary?
I'm tremendous. What's your name?
My name is Nick.
Nick, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Thanks, man. Good.
I have a question. I lead a customer care department for a tech company.
Awesome.
And, I'm very fascinated by your thank you department. And I'm currently trying to get more buzz. We have 14,000 fans on our Facebook page. So, I'd like to know how you feel about random gifting, just randomly gifting to a Twitter follower or a Facebook fan.
Go ahead.
And want to know, what kind of cool tricks do you have in your offensive playbook that you use in your thank you department?
So when I hear you kind of talk, it makes me think like, what I would tell one of my people, which is get off the tactic train, right? There's no trick. You know what the trick is? We care about every single customer that we could possibly get, and we're trying to figure out ways that shock them. We want buzz too, but you know what's funny? We actually don't give a shit if we ever get it. We'll take the shock on a one-to-one level knowing that we've now built lifetime value. All I care about is lifetime value. Period, end of story. It is what I battle on. It is what my companies will always care about. So, if we give somebody a random decanter, right? Do we hope they go on Twitter and Facebook and be like, these suckers are the best, wine library for life, baby, WL? Yes, we do, right? We do, but we don't. That's the real answer. We want it, but we don't need it. I don't care about how many fans we have on Wine Library never catches me. You know, they're always mad. I've got like 10 times more than they do. You know, you okay? You gotta go?
He's got to catch a flight.
Let me hug it out, baby. Did a good job. Nice meeting you. We don't really care. We're doing it not because we're hoping we get 3,000 more followers. We're doing it because we don't care if we have 7 followers. If those 7 convert and care about our business, we're gonna win. So we're not worried about the number. People care way too much about the number. How many of you know who Nicki Minaj is? Raise your hand. When Nicki Minaj, 2 years ago, got written up by a hip-hop blog that we write at VaynerMedia, one of our guys, called Hip Hop at Lunch. Check it out, it's funny. It's kind of like the Source's unsigned hype. He writes only about people that haven't hit the game yet. He wrote about Nicki a couple years ago. She had 8,000 Twitter followers. She was pumped because she was still coming up in the game. She tweeted the article. How many click-throughs do you think we got? You ready for this one, Michael? 7,000. When Ashton Kutcher gives me love, when I give love, when all million give love, we don't get 7,000 click-throughs. It doesn't matter how many you have. It matters how many you have that give a fuck. And that's going to be the conversation next. So I would tell you that if you're doing it because you want to do it and you think that customer then will stay if they see an ad for a different tech company, and even though they're $9 cheaper, they'll stay with you, then that's the right thing to do. Not worrying about, we all got caught up in the numbers game. The Twitter number and the Facebook numbers are really clouding people of what really matters when you actually do real business. Right back here, all the way in the back. I know he's been holding it up for a while. We'll get back to the other people. There.
What's that?
And I'm going to sign books, I think, in a second. No, all the way in the back. And when I sign books, I'll be happy to answer questions.
Gary, my name's Aaron.
How are you, man?
Very well, you?
I'm doing really well.
So the thank you economy and the customer service and all the context is all well and good, but can you speak a little bit about lead generation and a little bit more aggressive, how to look up and maybe being the nice guy and being out there for everybody, but also needing to fill your funnel and generate leads?
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget, right? My first business wasn't lemonade. I was embarrassed to tell you what it really was. I used to go to people's yards, rip their flowers out of their yard, ring their doorbell, and sell it back to them. So I come from that place. I'm not here to be Mother Teresa and Mr. Nice Guy and all that. Lead gen, are you talking B2C? No. B2B? You know, B2B, to me, the best lead gen place, believe it or not, you know, first of all, Facebook ads, if you understand how to use them, are ridiculously good, right? I highly recommend looking at that. There's ways to really drill down to amazing stuff. I would tell you that I still think search.twitter.com is incredible. If you understand the kind of terminology, not high level, I never search wine. Too much shit, right? I go deep, like Saint Joseph, or Cote Rôtie, or Pinot Gris. That's where the good stuff happens. You know your business really well. You know who you're trying to get to. I'm sure you're doing a little LinkedIn and all that, but that's always like pounding too much. Back to the service instead of the merchant. I'm telling you right now, if you were a wine distributor and I said something and you said something smart to me about it on Twitter, that would absolutely positively start a relationship. So I'm surprised, and I'm not surprised. Search.twitter.com is hard and slow. And people want, you know, I get it. But you know what? When you do it for 14 fucking hours a day, you can get a lot done. You know, so, but can you do that in what you practically have to do otherwise? I still think that people are completely missing the boat on Facebook ads. It's starting to get smarter and smarter. It's really quite incredible. Based on interests, understanding the like graph, and then being able to map who a person that likes black-eyed peas, the Knicks, you know, and bananas, and that meaning something is a science that is going to be incredible. We're done? Oh.
I'm on you. Whoever you
Well,
want.
I know people want to get to the game, and I know I have to sign books. I'm thrilled to answer all your questions one-on-one. Where am I signing the books?
There's a table out there. It's right out there.
I'm going to sign books right outside. Thank you guys so much for coming. I was excited to be here. Thank you.